Good morning. My name's Carrie and I live in Texas, and I am a very strong conservative supporter of our amazing president, Donald Trump. And this message, this video is actually for him. I'm using my second podcast of the week to address a subject that I'm seeing happen more and more and more across all social media platforms. And I want our president to see and hear from people that support him, explaining what is going on through social media and how conservatives are systematically being attacked, accounts are being taken for speaking what we believe, and nothing from the radical left seems to be addressed in the same way. So if you know the president, or you have a way to forward this message to somebody that does know the president, I sincerely hope that you will help me reach the president, because this is an important message. My podcast is Conservative Conversations. I'm based in Texas. I'm an immigrant. I came here in 1968 with my family, and thank the Lord, I have been blessed to live an amazing American dream. I'm married to an amazing American. My boys were born in the United States. My entire family has been blessed to have an amazing life in this amazing country. And I am passionate about making sure that my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren have the same opportunities and way of life that I've been blessed to live. I'm a small business owner. I have multiple things going on in my life. My husband is battling ALS. There's just a lot going on. And I know that I'm just like everybody else. We all have challenges. We all feel the pinch. We all are still trying to recover from 4 catastrophe-filled years through a Democratic president. And we all know on the conservative side that it's not going to happen overnight. And we also all know that our president did not have a choice but to make sure we were safe. And the Iranians were going to do everything to make sure that that wasn't what happened. So I just want you to know, as an American, a naturalized American, that I do support this president. I don't always agree with you, Mr. President, but I do support you, President Trump. And I want you to know personally from me that I do support you. And I am going to do everything in my power to help you finish your administration and to make sure our conservative movement continues to grow into the future. But I want to talk to you, President Trump, about a situation that is happening on social media, and it's happening on all social media channels. I haven't seen it happen on Truth Social, so I'm assuming it has not, but X, Facebook, TikTok's the worst, Instagram, all of them are actively targeting conservative postings, conservative accounts. I had a TikTok account that had over 26,000 followers on it. I've worked really hard to develop my community across all platforms. I believe that everybody has the right to their own opinion. I respect the fact that you're not going to agree with me. The problem is we don't get that mutual respect. We get hate and violence and threats. I have dear friends that are not conservatives, and we just agree to disagree. We love each other. We've known each other for decades. We just agree on this particular subject that we don't agree. That's what we used to be able to do in this country. We used to be able to just say, you know what? Let's just agree that we're going to disagree and move on and still have a productive, functioning, prosperous country. The hate that is going on in this country today is out of control. And the social media channels that are perpetuating this hate are actively putting gasoline on a fire that could erupt into a catastrophe, a civil war between conservatives and liberals. Now, I know most people in the United States of America are closer to the middle. I personally am closer to the middle. I actually have a couple of things that I believe that aren't necessarily conservative. Majority of my beliefs are conservative, but I understand some of the other beliefs on the liberal side. I'm in the middle. 60% of the American population is in the middle. It's the radicals on both sides that are creating this unbelievable situation of hate that is like a cancer on our society, on our country. And it's going to destroy our country if we don't take active, decisive steps to prevent social media platforms and any other platform, news, journalism, whatever you want to call it, from perpetuating and encouraging this hate. TikTok is the worst, by far. Every day in my processing, I see numerous large conservative accounts that are losing their accounts. TikTok's just taking their accounts. But yet, on the other side of that, conservatives are getting messages from people on the left that, sir, would make you just go, oh my goodness. Violent, aggressive, hateful threats. I even know several accounts where the left has gone to other platforms and has found personal information out about the account holder, found pictures of their children, their grandchildren, their family, and are using it in vile, disgusting messages, as well as other repulsive actions that require reporting to the feds, to you, sir, to the federal government. It is not okay under any circumstances, if you disagree with somebody, to go to somebody's platform outside of TikTok. Let's just stick with TikTok. Let's say they go to Facebook and they see this family, because that's what we do, right? We post information about our family. We share information about those that we love, our children, our husbands, our sisters, our brothers, our parents, our life. And these individuals are then taking those photos and making disgusting files, pictures, messages, and then sending the account holder threats. That's not okay. They have crossed the line, and it's not okay. This is exactly the type of thing that is going to create a situation where this explodes into extreme violence, because I know myself. I've had photos from other platforms that have been used, and the messages that I have gotten, they're scary. They are really scary. They're threats. And we just can't have that in this country. We can agree to disagree. They don't want to believe like I believe. I don't care. That's their choice. We're all free. We're all free to choose how we live, what we believe, where we live, how we live, with who we live, what our faith is, what our partnership relationships are, how we raise our children. We're all free to live the lives that we want to live. And this situation is threatening the very existence of our society, because it's designed to create a situation that explodes into violence and civil war. Because you know, sir, as you have said many, many times before, they don't want our country to survive. They don't want us to be prosperous. They don't want us to be great. They don't want people to thrive and live and succeed and better themselves and buy homes and have great jobs and grow their retirement and travel. They just don't want us to be. That's the ultimate goal here. They do not want America's survival. And platforms like TikTok is encouraging that by letting the radicals on the left do this to conservative account holders. It's just not okay. It's just not okay. And President Trump, you need to get involved because it's a powder keg. It is a powder keg ready to explode and create a civil war between the conservatives and the liberals. I don't know the answer, President Trump, but I do know that you believe in what the Constitution allows every single one of us: freedom. Freedom to believe what we want. They don't have to believe what I want. Imagine how boring our lives would be if we all agreed. We don't want to all agree, but we all should have the right to disagree, disagree respectfully with each other without threats of violence, condemnation, and hurting people we love. That's what's happening. And it's a very scary situation. I see it every day. Every day on a particular TikTok, I see conservative accounts just going away because the platform does not want those voices out there and being seen. I never see, let me say that again, I never see large liberal accounts being taken by TikTok. And what I mean by taken is they take them and they close them down. And if there's monetization associated with it, then you lose that too. And there's no way to hold TikTok accountable. They don't care. They will not respond. I personally challenged them and was summarily said, no, we're not going to reinstate. You have no further action except legal action. Well, my life is too complicated for that. I just let them do it, because at some points, at some circumstances in your life, you just have to take what happens and deal with it and then shift gears and move on. And that's what I did. But I know there are other people right now, today, and I'm filming this on Friday, the 17th of July. And I can tell you there are other people right now that are dealing with situations that include reporting the situations and the fears and the threats to the authorities. We're talking about social media. Social media is a phenomenal thing that does phenomenal good and can do phenomenal good, but it's turning into a war zone. And there's nobody that seems to be regulating what is going on. Now, the other platforms that were doing it back in 20, like Facebook and X still does it, but it's I don't follow the X platform because it's so liberalized that it's just a waste of my time, frankly. But TikTok and Facebook are the two, and Instagram are the main platforms, and there's just no accountability being delivered. It's all targeted towards conservatives and what we believe. So I hope this message reaches you, President Trump. I know you're busy. You have so many things on your plate, and I'm so grateful that you're the president of this country and that you are working every single day to make our lives better and to keep us safe. But this is a situation that is getting really out of hand, and I think you need to step in, and I think there needs to be I don't know what, an investigation. I don't know. I just know that it's growing, particularly on TikTok. And if something is not done about it, something's going to happen. I just know it. And you are the one person who has already been involved in the situation. And from what I'm told, you are aware of the situation, but I wanted you to hear it from somebody that's actually lived the situation. And you can find it today. There are others today that are dealing with this exact same thing, where their families have been, their family images or information has been compromised because of the hate-driven radicals on the left. You know, they are dangerous, they are unhinged, and there seems to be no care from the leaders of that group to control what's going on. You personally have had how many attempted assassinations? So, I hope you see this, sir, and I hope you do some investigation, have your staff investigate it, and then, you know, maybe it just is time that entities like this that are not American companies are just closed down. Because if they're facilitating what they are facilitating in trying to encourage a civil conflict, it's time for them to go. Our society can't live if we're divided. We know that too. No society has ever survived when it divides from within, and that's where we are. And we all know it. And I hope something can be done. I really do. Because I believe social media can be a fantastic vehicle for commerce and families and joining people together. But right now it's completely the opposite. It is a divisive cancer that is killing the ability of Americans to communicate and disagree without violence. Thanks for joining me today. Like I said, if you know the president, or you know somebody that knows the president that can forward this message to him, I hope that you will do so. Or I hope you will just advise him of what is happening. Because we as Americans, we have to be more proactive in what is going on. We just can't sit by any longer and say that this civil unrest will just work itself out. I don't believe that anymore. We have gotten so far past the line in the sand that from where I sit, I just see this erupting into a catastrophe of epic proportions. And none of us want that. Regardless of what we believe or think, none of us with common sense values want our country to implode. It is the fuel that's lighting the fire of this division. Social media, how do you feel about it? I am in business. I use it for commerce, and I use it to get information out. I also use it for personal reasons. I also use it to express my God-given right to be a conservative and live in this great country and be an American that's had an amazing opportunity to live the American dream. That's what the Constitution gives us. And we all have to protect that at all costs. Thanks for joining me today. Anyone is welcome here, as long as you're respectful, as long as if you participate in mutual respect, whether it's a comment, whatever it may be. I encourage that. I encourage us to get back to the table where we can sit and have a disagreement and just say to each other, you know, let's just agree that we're going to disagree. That's what we've got to be able to do, and we have forgotten how to do that. Many blessings to you wherever you are on this beautiful Friday. It is a glorious Friday. We all get to see another day. That is a blessing in and of itself. thanks to the God above that this country was founded on. One nation under God. We've got to get back there too. Hope you have a spectacularly safe day, a productive day, and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Don't ever forget to just take time to be with those that you love, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. And you don't have to go or do anything, just be with each other. Just share time. It's the most precious quantity on earth, time. Time with each other, to love each other, support each other, and encourage each other. Whether you're in the backyard jumping on a jungle gym, or whether you're sitting in your living room having a cup of tea, spend time with those that you love, because one day you won't have it. And that's not a good thing. You will miss those when you don't get to do that. I know, I live with that every day. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you the next time at Conservatives Corner, where we talk about all things, but in particular, the conservative movement and the future of our great nation. May God bless us all.